What is good? What is good? I'm just finishing up this J right here. This thing is annoying me. I'm just about to just twist it up the way that it is, to be 100% honest with you, man, and just smoke it. It's annoying me. I'm just about to just twist it up the way that it is, to be 100% honest with you, man. And as we do, we get the audio situated and we get started with the show, man. We got some crazy news tonight. I had been talking about Rallo for the last few months. The last few months, he had released actually information that he was going to court. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that tonight. We're going to get into a whole lot tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure you hit the like button right when you get in here. Make sure you drop a comment right when you tap in. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm just rolling up a little bit of the E85, the E85 gas. Got a dope live video for y'all tonight. Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. I'm just going to go ahead and light up so we can get things started. We got a lot of news to tap in on tonight. Rallo got some amazing news, you guys. Carlos, what's going on? It's Bama's in the building, created by Tay in the building. Major salute to everybody tapping in, man. I'm just going to light up while everybody continues to tap in. We got some heavy news to speak on tonight. We got some wins. We got some interesting things to talk about, some interview shit to talk about. So, it's going to be a great show. Major love, Wally. Major love, Wally Dean. Salute to you all the way from North Carolina. Everything is good on my end. New interviews going crazy. Bizarre, Easy the Block Captain. Bunch of throwback interviews, man. Just staying consistent with material. What's going on, Deanie? What's up with you? Toledo in the building. Toledo, major salute to Toledo, Ohio. Deshaun Thomas, what's good? Philly, stand up. What is good? Hell yeah, appreciate Philly tapping in. Appreciate Toledo tapping in. Everybody drop your city in the comments. We're about to get started with a dope live show. I'm actually going to be doing a bit of a review for Lil Durk's 7220 album. A little bit of a review. We're going to go over a lot of the lyrics where he was taking shots at NBA Youngboy. We're going to go over it all tonight, man. Hampton, what up, Amir? Hampton, Virginia up in here. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Mall's in the building. Rochester, New York. All right, Rochester, New York. Major respect to Rochester. Brandon. South Philly is up in here. Okay, I see you, South Philly. South Dakota, Big Steve Q. Salute. I think that's South Dakota. Let me know. Or San Diego, California. Let me know, Steve. Domain, title. What's up? What's up? What's up? Ricky Roher. Philly, Ricky, 11th. Let's go. Providence, Rhode Island's in the building. All right, we got some people tapping in tonight. Virginia, titles from Virginia. Major respect to Virginia on the tap in. Only about 8 hours from me. Tyrical, Childs, what's good, my boy? Everything is good, man. Tonight we're going to be, doing some heavy news. Providence, San Diego. Major salute to San Diego on the tap in tonight. San Diego, California. Hell yeah. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. A lot of different people tapping in from a lot of different parts of the world. That's what it's all about. I'm smoking on some cookies as usual. You know what I mean? I'm smoking on some cookies as usual, you guys. E85 tonight, which was a Grandi Flori brand. E85, let me think. What are they popularly known for making? I was just smoking a brand. I was kind of shocked that Grandi Flori actually made it. What up? What up, Bones? Bones 215 in the building. Salute everybody. Share this video. We got some great topics tonight. Alabama, Birmingham. Salute to Birmingham in the building. DJ Sid OG, Providence, Southside. Appreciate you tapping in from Providence. Boston is here. Salute to Boston. Salute to the Bean tapping in, man. Much love to everybody tapping in tonight, man. You know, we go over the best hip hop news in the industry. You know what I mean? We go over the best hip hop news in the industry. We go over the best albums, which is what we're going to be doing tonight with Durk's new joint, where he's rapping to a very interesting extent with all the material that he's put on this album, Providence, Washington Park. Okay, okay. I like what I'm hearing, man. I like what I'm seeing, but I like what I'm hearing in hip hop right now. You know, for the last few months, we had heard all the news of Rallo, you guys. We heard all the news of Rallo actually getting the chance to go before a judge. You know, Rallo had the opportunity to go before a judge on March 15th, which was just the other day. Some news actually broke about the situation. Me, myself, I was hoping Rallo would have walked out of jail that day, but we got some very good news in regard to Rallo's release that we're going to go over tonight, you guys. Rallo's been incarcerated since April of 2018. You know what I mean? Rallo's been, in a pretty bad situation because he got locked up right after, pretty much getting signed, pretty much after establishing his name in the industry. Rallo was doing some things that many other artists have not done. You know what I mean? He worked with guys that we're talking about right now, people that are dominating the charts. The Little Baby, you know what I mean? Little Baby, whose album My Turn is still riding high on the charts, right alongside Benny the Butcher's Tana Talk 4, which is being reported is going to sell about 19,000 units. 19,000 units first week, 20,000 units first week for Benny the Butcher's album. Tana Talk 4, that's pretty good, I gotta say. You know, they had released some of the streaming figures for the Tana Talk 4, the TT4 album, which had suggested that Benny's album is actually the highest streaming Griselda album. So, I mean, Benny's just breaking records right now in all categories, man, whether it comes to his own personal first week sales or his own, you know what I mean? Or his own sales when it comes to just selling units. Now, another thing that I did read is that his physical sales were through the roof. You know what I mean? His physical sales out of those 20,000 were about 7,000 sold physically. Whereas Durk, well, we're going to get into Durk's projections in a little bit, you guys. Cranston, Rhode Island, what's popping? Tyrese Child says, what's your take on the whole beef? Well, I've said things along the lines of I didn't think it was practical for NBA Youngboy to drop disses on or even really bring up the situation with King Von on his album, which is what I ultimately think the opening that wound is what ultimately started this beef. It kind of seems like NBA Youngboy wanted it as a way to generate interest in what he's got going on. But I really don't think that's the case with NBA Youngboy, you guys. I don't think NBA Youngboy needs to do hip hop beef in order to drum up some interest in his release. Just the music itself does that. You know what I mean? Appreciate everybody for sharing this video. It looks like Rallo will be coming home, you guys. It looks like Rallo will be coming home within a 1 year time period for everybody just tuning in. What news? What news we've got from Rallo, the Famgoon General, as I like to call him. We call 50 Cent the G Unit General. I sort of look at Rallo as the Famgoon General. Mike, YB's trash. Damn. See, we got some people in here who love their YB. We got some people in here who go against YB. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna censor the opinions of the people watching my live videos. Mike says Rallo is the man. I like his style. Yeah, Rallo's style is It's genuine, you know? Rallo was the type of guy who said, I can spend $30,000 or 40,000 in a single night in a strip club, but how about I go out there and I give that to the homeless? How about I go out there and I give some money to some people in need? That's the type of shit Rallo was on. Now, whether it was whether he had a relationship that kind of kept him out of the strip club or whatever it may have been, just the fact that he would put his money into a different, into a different bracket than just wasting it, or not wasting it. Those strippers be getting their money, man, and they're getting rich. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that Rallo would actually show how considerate he was, it says something about him. Salute, salute, Schizo's in the room. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. We got some great news. We got a great album. We got some great news about Rallo. We got a great album to talk about tonight, you guys. A major album to talk about, Durk 7220 album. Also, we're going to be talking about Akademiks, who said that Lil Durk actually turned him down in favor of doing the interview with Gillie the Kid. So we're going to be talking about all that tonight, man. We're going to be talking about all about it. Two of the best interviewers in the game, Gillie the Kid and Akademiks. Akademiks actually spoke on the fact that he liked what they did when Gillie and Wallo actually went out to Chirac to shoot that interview. When Lil Durk brought out $1 million on $1 million worth of game. The first artist to do that thus far. I mean, you're not really going to see too many interviews with a guy bringing out $1 million. I think the only other time that I've seen that, somebody else put it in the chat if you've seen an artist bring out that much money before. But I honestly think the only time we ever saw it is when Black Youngsta did the interview with Yo Gotti. You know what I'm saying? When they did that interview and Black Youngsta was actually counting all the money in his book bag. And I don't even think that was $1 million. You know what I'm saying? 1017 TV says free Pooh Shiesty. Damn right, free Pooh Shiesty, man. Damn right, free Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty's going through a pretty bad predicament right now, but I can't say that it doesn't seem like he has the best representation. From that statement that I read on the internet, it seems like he has some good representation that is, looking towards proving his innocence in this case, asking why. Why would a man worth $3.4 million, a man who was going to pick up a percentage of that, why would he actually have to commit a crime that was for a mere few $100s? It realistically makes no sense. And whoever they get to, pass judgment on this case is going to have to look into those facts. Hopefully they will. You know what I mean? Because in all honesty, people go to school for a long time to preside over cases like this. If they're not able to read between the lines, you guys, then we've got a problem here as a society. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. We got a few dope topics to speak on. Yeah, we got a few dope topics to speak on. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really hyped for tonight's show. Yep. Lil Durk apparently turned down DJ Akademiks for Gillie the Kid. What can I say? What can I say, you guys? What can I say in regard to that? DJ Akademiks has a great podcast, for the record. You know what I mean? Honestly, I would have expected Lil Durk to actually do that podcast. We've seen in the past, we've seen Little Reese actually do interviews with DJ Akademiks before he even, I think this was even before he had a situation with I think this is actually before he had a situation with Everyday Struggle even. So his relationship has been steady with these guys. R. Evans, I don't know about that, bro. He tried to pull off his publicity stunt to sell albums. I don't really think he needed to pull off a publicity stunt in that, that was going to get him arrested in order to sell the albums. So I really don't agree with that. His streams were actually going to be doing that. Wow, we got some interesting opinions in here. Akademiks was getting a lot of these in his live as well. My dude, Mike says Durk should have turned down the interview. All he be doing is riding YB. What's good, would you, Steven? Appreciate you for tapping in. We're still on the intro, bro. We got 3 dope topics tonight. We got 3 dope topics tonight, man. I'm just smoking some gas right now, you guys. This E85 is fire, y'all. This shit is fire, man. Excuse me while I smoke. We're about to get into this shit tonight, man. Get a little drink. Probably could use a little bit of Howler, to be honest with you. That banana whiskey. But we're good on Red Bull and weed tonight. News and Hip Hop says Akademiks is mad. A lot of people would be saying he's big mad right now, but how could he be mad when he's winning? Akademiks went from being on Everyday Struggle. He went from having a YouTube page, you know what I mean, building his name, to getting a deal with Complex, creating the Everyday Struggle show, then to be going to able to creating his own Everyday Struggle. Akademiks is in a really good position. I mean, shit, imagine somebody like Akademiks picked me up. Akademiks is in such a good position. He could pick me up. He could say, hey, Mikey T, I see what you're doing. All you need is the boost of DJ Akademiks, and you're going to be a millionaire. And since you're going to be a millionaire on that, we're going to put it in writing that you're going to help me make millions as well. So boom, he would become even more multimillionaire just by making me a millionaire. Akademiks is in that position right now, you guys, where he could even start a record label if he wanted to, So I don't think he's really mad about missing out on this opportunity with Lil Durk. Salute Tone. I see you got that bum feet. That's what's up. Salute my brothers out there smoking on that bum feet. Gillie smoked that bum feet. Pop Tracks be smoking on that bum feet. But let's be all honest, you guys. Akademiks is not mad about this. He actually even explained that the fact that Lil Durk reached out to him and was like, yo, I'm not really trying to do any promo. We're going to get into it all tonight as well, you guys. We're going to get into it all. But the fact that Lil Durk reached out to Akademiks, and I can say this as well because I've had Durk's people reach out to me in regard to an interview because, I had interviewed Durk really early on in his career, so I've actually reached out for prior interview. We're going to get into it all, man. Capital third letter C in the building. Listen, I need everybody to share this video. We got a dope exclusive live video tonight. DJ Akademiks was actually speaking on Lil Durk turning down his interview to go on $1 million worth of game. It's no beef. It's no beef when it comes to this situation because even through all the talking that we've seen Akademiks do on different artists on the internet, a lot of these artists actually love what he does promoting them, like Soulja Boy, for example, an artist that we've seen actually go out and diss him all over his Instagram, dissing Akademiks. Akademiks, I believe, went to Soulja Boy's house in California for that exclusive interview. So that's an example right there. A lot of people said whatever they wanted to say about Akademiks reporting on Chicago. Little Reese actually did an interview with Akademiks. Now, Akademiks' reach has gone to great lengths at this point. You know, he sat up with French Montana about a year or so, maybe a couple of years back. After French Montana was going through some of his demons, they actually sat together and did a very impressive interview. So it just shows you that, and this was before For the Record, it showed you what capability Akademiks had even without the major backer behind him. He really did his thing. Jabri says Durk had promised Gillie the interview. Yep, that's another thing that Akademiks also pointed out. And I think the majority of the people on the internet that watch Gillie the Kid or watch Durk, you know, we all pretty much know about the relationship that they've kind of built through Gillie being a major, major fan of his music and Gillie kind of realizing the type of influence that Lil Durk has. You know what I mean? Maybe everybody wasn't feeling Chief Keef. Maybe some people were like, yo, man, I kind of think some of the clout that Chief Keef has is a little bit cap. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like him all that much. Did you hear the one song where he was coughing for at least a minute and a half? You know what I mean? Some of that shit we can't let get by us. But Lil Durk, just the pure talent. I was listening to the 7220 album. I was going through the lyrics. You know, I wanted to be able to quote some stuff for you guys tonight. And some of the way that Durk spits, it just flows right off. It comes right off your tongue. You know what I mean? It just flows. You can just rap it right with him. You know, that's one of the advantages that Lil Durk has as an artist. The projections came out for Lil Durk as well as Benny the Butcher. Salute to my guy, Benny the Butcher. 20,000 sold in a short week. Benny the Butcher is just rising up. You know, he's just rising up, you know, with from project to project. I got to say I respect it. It kind of reminds me of the older days of Young Thug when Young Thug was actually selling 20, 25,000, 30,000, and he was putting out all these mixtape like albums, these project like albums. Benny the Butcher is on that same pace right now, you guys. I respect what he's doing, man. And you already know, man, it's major appreciation for him actually giving me that interview back in the day. Share this video, everybody. Let's go. Let's get 100 people in here. We're doing the 7220 album review tonight. We're doing the 7220 album review tonight. Also, Rallo is coming home. Rallo's coming home, everybody. Capital third letter says Benny the Butcher has some dope music. Schizo says Mikey T needs that moonshine. You know what I need? I ain't gonna lie. What I need is about a case of this Bel Air Blue so I can start sipping Bel Air every night that I'm blogging to you. So I need Bel Air to hit me with that endorsement because buying so much of these bottles, it's costly. It's costly. I need a Bel Air bottle to drink every week so I can blog and get drunk and y'all can listen to me speak. Hit up Rick Ross and tell him to holler at Mikey T. I'm going to be rich forever. Spending cash money like, all right, whatever. Yeah, we off of it. I'm like the Cassidy of bloggers. You know what I'm saying? Watch along with Benny. I got them jaunts for the low. Bones, appreciate you, man. Send me a case, bro. Actually, hit up Ross. Tell Ross to send me a case. Tell Ross to send me a case. I should be the next Bel Air blogger. I should get a check any freaking day. Yeah, that's right. I want the Bel Air check, you guys. What's popping? Mac Nation says, do you think Akademiks would have stepped foot around Chirac to execute that interview? You know, man, the fact that Gillie and Wallo went to Chirac to actually do that interview was something that kind of impressed Akademiks. You know, Akademiks had said that he thought it was really cool the way they went to the interview. We're going to get into it all though, man. Me personally, do I think Akademiks would have went there to do the interview? I mean, he's traveled in the past for interviews. You know what I mean? I've traveled in the past for interviews. I actually went and did an exclusive interview in the Pork and Beans in Miami. Didn't know what the hell I was doing there. I mean, I was getting paid for a shoot, ended up in the Pork and Beans. There was actually a raid going on in the middle of my shoot. When I'm shooting this video, the police, 3 cruisers roll through. We're all walking, right? And I have this big ass blunt in my hand about to spark it. And I noticed this one cop's door open, and you could see that he had that thing pulled off of his waist. So and they was about to jump out. So I was like, God damn, man. This shit is crazy. But I've been to all types of different places shooting videos, man. Salute to Amadou. White Runts blazing up. Yeah, White Runts, one of the best buds. White Runts, one of the best buds. That was actually my favorite batch, to be honest with you. Benny's album is fire, and that RJ Payne album is lit. But yeah, nah, man. Let's get into it, man. So DJ Akademiks said that Lil Durk actually hit him up. He said Lil Durk hit me up and said that he wasn't doing press for this album. So Akademiks and Lil Durk were actually talking about doing an interview, you guys. But Durk actually hit him and said that he wasn't doing press for this album, but he promised Gillie an interview from a year ago, and he did it. But Durk told Akademiks, he said, if I do any more outlets, I'm going to make sure I sit down with you. But, you know, he was kind of taking the Drake approach to it. Lil Durk has become an artist that does not need to do interviews in order to sell these records. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying him getting on Gillie the Kids podcast and doing 75,000 live viewers or how many numbers it was exactly didn't affect the sales, because I think it most certainly did. $1 million worth of game is an amazing platform that I think is affecting the record sales. When you get the opportunity to go on that platform and tell your story, and you have the ultimate ease of telling your story, and you're going to connect with people. You know, I cannot say he didn't connect with 70,000 people that day that went on to stream or actually purchase his music. Yeah, you're right about that. They always been fire, man. Like I had the opportunity to link with him in actually late 2018. Right around Christmas time, actually. Amadou says Lil Durk is the best. Jesus Torres says, when are you going to be on that show, $1 million worth of game? Whenever Gillie calls me to be on the show, you know what I mean? I'm not all about myself. You know what I mean? When I've reached out to Gillie and Wallo about things concerning the show, it's more than likely been about AR Rab. You know what I mean? Like at one point, you know, I was asking Wallo to do a spot about AR Rab for the, you know, stories from the cell. You know, when I reach out to people, it's normally not just for me, you guys. Like I'm a little bit, you know what I mean, more considerate than that. Like sometimes I'm like, I was just thinking to myself earlier, I was like, why are you doing all this type of shit for everybody? It's like, what are you, their agent or something, Mikey T? You know what I mean? But I'm a really considerate person, especially to its people that are considerate to me. You know, people that do things for me. I just be thinking in my head, plans start materializing and shit like that. Schizo said that Lil Durk interview with Gillie was classic. But like I said, Lil Durk was trying to do his Drake thing. You know, Drake doesn't really do interviews anymore. Drake is at the point where he doesn't have to do interviews to sell the record. You know, Durk has come out and sold multiple records. You know what I mean? Many different times. We've talked about it here on the show. He has a proven sales history, you know, and at this point, he's actually at his height. Durk is at his height between releasing the Voice album and being featured on the Heroes album with Little Baby. You know, Durk is at his height, man. A lot of people were trying to disregard the sales of Lil Durk. I told y'all, man. I told y'all you got to take into consideration the fact that the album with Little Baby sold 150,000. His album sold about 75,000, 80,000, something around there in the first 8 days, whatever it was. I think it was like 66 plus another 23. He sold that in 8 days. You got to put that into consideration with what he did with the baby. Durk has amassed the biggest fan base of his career. That's why everybody is exploding when it comes to Little Durk right now. And his album projections are out 120,000 units to 130,000 units sold is what they are projecting, you guys. The numbers that Durk is doing are the best of his career. They're actually the best of his career. Some might say they are double the best of his career. Yeah, man. George, what up, man? Gillie had Meek on that interview. It was fire too. Keith Tabone says, Mikey T, get that check. Well, man, Keith, I'm going to stay here reporting the hip hop news. You know what I mean? Regardless of what happens, man, whether we remain a independent platform or we take it above and we get an industry level of support. You know what I mean? We'll be here, bro. Jesus says, you had a lot of videos with Gillie back in the days. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Because Gillie was one of the best in the game to ever do it. So that's why I wanted to, stay on doing videos with him. I was like, this guy right here has an amazing amount of talent. And then even after that, he just showed me so much more, the way he was acting on camera and shit, the way that he transcended what he used to be and became what he is today. You know what I mean? Like he kind of shed all that gangsta image, you know what I mean, from the past of like being just focused on his music career. And he actually progressed in a whole nother lane. It was really impressive what Gillie did. I don't think we've seen another artist do it in the regard to Gillie the Kid. But he's got similar because like like Joe Budden, what he was doing to, market himself on the internet. Gillie actually had a DVD at one point. You know what I mean? Gillie actually had a DVD at one point. So both of them were in tune with actually marketing themselves, as artists too. Gillie is a down to earth dude. Every time I bump into him, he's at the dispense. He shakes my hand. He a real one. Oh yeah, you be running into Gillie at the dispensary. He is a hell of a dispensary bull, man. I actually just seen Gillie. He was at the Cookies dispensary. It might have been in California. I'm not too sure. He had actually tagged Burner, and major salute to Burner, man. Hope he's doing well. We always salute Burner on the channel. Why? Because he's an innovator in the culture. And another reason, we're always smoking his product. We're always smoking cookies on the show, man. Whether it's velvet cake, whether it's honey bun, whether it's Gary Payton, you know what I'm saying? We're always, you know what I mean? We're always smoking Burner's bud. So we got to give him a salute on the show. So yeah, Akademiks spoke on that, He said, I'm going to be honest with you. He said, I've got to believe him and take him at face value. I'm not going to be an entitled MFer. Here's one of the things where I'm humble enough to respect that he at least gives you an explanation. Most of these dudes won't give you an explanation. That's something I really respect that Akademiks said here. Some of these guys in the industry, they will not give you an explanation. They won't even reply to you. You know what I mean? They'll leave you on red or even worse on an email. You won't even know. You won't even know if you've been read on an email, you guys. So it's even worse in that game. But Akademiks said he respected and I think he said I'm humble enough to respect that he at least gives you an explanation. How about that, man? Akademiks is a very intelligent man when it comes to this shit because he can honestly tell that this artist and he deals with dozens, 20, 30, 50, maybe, you know what I mean? But at least a dozen artists that he wants to come on the show. You know what I'm saying? He deals with them all, and he can tell that Lil Durk is being truthful in telling him, if I do other platforms, I will do your platform. But Durk apparently didn't expect to do many interviews for this promo run. Now, if Durk ends up doing this, that, and that, and that, the other one, and you know what I mean, if he ends up doing all these different platforms, he'll eventually go do DJ Akademiks. And no, we're not talking about Jimmy Fallon, because Lil Durk has a big spot on Jimmy Fallon coming up. That's right. Lil Durk has a big spot on Jimmy Fallon coming up, you guys. With, I think it was going to be with Future. So I'm not sure if they were going to be doing the Petty song. But and I'm not sure if they're even going to be doing an interview. It would be a major, major accomplishment if Durk was able to actually get that interview on, you know what I mean, Jimmy Fallon. So I don't think Academics should really feel any type of way either if Durk were to get that type of acknowledgement. That's a television interview. You know what I mean? Durk might have to wait till his next album, though, to do that. As we see, his sales are increasing. 130,000. He's increased by double. If some people really want to say he only moved 66,000 units of The Voice in a week, then he increased by double, you guys. And I know back in the day when I looked at this as a fan, you would say, okay, he's got the opportunity to perform there. Now, if he can elevate with the sales, he'll be able to interview there next time. That's how I would look at it back in the day. Now, that's if Durk doesn't have a 5 or 6 minute, 7-minute interview slot with Jimmy Fallon already. Believe me, that would be an amazing conversation. You know what I'm saying? I can still remember interviewing Lil Durk back in the day at Circle House. You know what I'm saying? I can still remember it. You know, I remember I had reached out to Durk's people to do another interview, and this is when he had started blowing up. And I actually got denied. And I had to do the same thing that Academics is doing here. I had to put it, you know what I mean? I had to hold it. I had to hold it in. You don't spaz out on one of the biggest artists in the game because you don't get the opportunity to do an interview. What the hell does that say about you, first of all? What are you going to go do? Cry and complain that dude didn't give you an interview? No. You're going to get back to work. You're going to put your head down and you're going to start working harder than ever. Just so happens I did get an opportunity to run into Durk when he was performing here in Connecticut, when he brought King Von to Connecticut. We had reconnected there, but we had linked up a few different times. You know what I mean? When I first interviewed him, when Chinks put me onto him. Yeah, man, some shit like that, man. Ladybug says, I'm glad Lil Durk did this. Lil Durk's new album, 7220, 7220 is definitely a big album, you guys. So Academics said the mere fact that he tried to explain, like your honesty, bro. I wasn't gonna do no interviews, and honest, I get it. They wanted to do the Chirac look. And you know what? So now I actually think that Academics should interview Gillie and Wallo. I think that would be major, you know, because not just anybody can interview Gillie and Wallo. You know what I mean? I think Academics should actually interview Gillie and Wallo. You know, Wallo's interview with Lil Durk, but it just took such a dramatic turn. You know what I mean? And that turn right there really shed a lot of light, you know what I mean, on the experience that Wallo had, you know what I mean, in relation to Lil Durk. I think Academics, you know, as a fan of the show, you know what I mean, as a viewer, I think he should bring Gillie and Wallo on there. And probably you could get Gillie, you know, to go into Gillie's whole story about shit, because Gillie won't tell his story anywhere now, you guys. Like, Gillie is done with telling that Lil Wayne part of his story, but maybe Academics could be the one guy to bring it out of him, and him and Wallo will have an awesome back and forth. Boom says Durk is real selective on who he does interviews with now. So Axe said, I get it. He wanted to do the Chirac look, Gillie and Wallo went there. I think that's dope. I get it. Put it like this. I talk about Durk and I compare him to his peers in the game. If I had hit up Chief Keef wouldn't respond. I continued on about Chief Keef until I went off. He wouldn't respond. At least Durk is going to deal with you like a human, and that's why he's winning. So Act pretty much said that, a guy like Chief Keef wouldn't even respond. And yeah, I remember meeting Chief Keef one time as well. He's very unresponsive as an artist. You know what I mean? I was just like sitting there talking to him, and he like kind of responded in like lag time. You know what I mean? Like I would be on to the next thing, and then he was responding to the first thing. So, Chief Keef, he's in another type of a reality. You know what I mean? Chief Keef and Lil Durk are very, very different when it comes to this music thing. You see, Chief Keef was handed it all. Lil Durk had to grind for it all. Chief Keef came into the game and got it like it was so easy. Even the situation after Interscope, he was handed another situation that like it didn't have all the power of what the Interscope deal had, but I think it had all the financial power of it, you know? But Lil Durk literally had to grind for it, a grind for a career that would not have necessarily have been there. Lil Durk wasn't like it wasn't a foregone conclusion that Lil Durk was going to have a career, you guys. After what Kanye West did with Chief Keef, it was set in stone that Chief Keef was going to be good for life. To this day, Chief Keef can make bread. You know what I mean? Whatever he does. Lil Durk had to solidify himself in the game. Trench Baby says, Durk is way better. Sean Baglife, appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you for tuning in. Shelton Ritter, PA all day in the building. What's good, Mikey T? I appreciate you for tapping in. I need everybody to share this video. Basically, we're talking about how Akademiks was speaking on the Gillie interview. Everybody's pretty much talking about that Gillie interview with Lil Durk. It's pretty much the biggest interview right now. It's the most viral interview on the internet right now, you guys. Let's see. What's good? Mississippi's in the building. Salute to Mississippi on the tap-in. So, sorry, y'all. Let me smoke, y'all. Let me smoke. Let me enjoy the blog. Let me know where y'all is from. We're still on the first topic. Apparently, Akademiks put it out there that Lil Durk actually, he wanted him to come on for the record. I mean, I think there's a lot of people, even though Gillie got their interview, they would still want to see him on for the record. Why do I say that? Because there are lanes for all of these people doing their interviews. You know what I mean? It's all relatively different content. It wouldn't be the same slice of life coming for the record as you get from the $1 million worth of game. That's the pure, simple fact. Now, I hope when you come to my channel, you're not getting the same interview that you're getting from everywhere else. I set myself apart. I try to do the best interviews on the internet, period. All right, y'all, we got to ask. I got to ask, man. I got to ask. I gotta ask, what's everyone smoking? And I'm putting up a poll right now, you guys. I'm putting up a poll for y'all to grade Lil Durk's album. I'm putting up a poll so everybody can grade Lil Durk's album. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you're smoking in the chat. But in the poll, I want to know, how are you grading the 7220 album? Are you grading it an A, B, C, or D? My guy Bones is smoking on some Alien Nightmare. Cornbread TV smoking on some Zaza. Your Cornbread TV, have you ever smoked on that cornbread strain of weed? I smoked it a few different times, man. Shit was pretty good. Wedding cake. What's up, Myth? Kush Mints. George, damn, 33% at the Kush Myth. Vote in the chat, you guys. I want to know what y'all thought about Durk's album. What was your grade for the album? Damn, this shit is some gas, man. Smoking on this gas. So Akademiks said, I'm not upset at Durk. I would feel a way if I saw 5 more interviews pop up, but he did one interview. So Ak is taking a very mature approach at this, you guys. He's taking a very mature stance when it comes to this shit, because Akademiks has the respect of the majority. He doesn't need to go off the deep end on one of the biggest rappers in the game, probably the third biggest rapper in the game right now, maybe the fifth. But Axe said when Durk wasn't popular and he was going through it with Def Jam and he was DMing me stuff a lot. Reese did too. And I said to Durk, listen, I literally don't care where I go in my career. Remember this, Durk is getting dropped. I remember that Durk is getting dropped off the label. I said I covered you guys in Chicago, and it definitely helped where I brought to my brand too. And I will always post y'all, even if nobody F's with y'all music. And at that time, they were making more Chicago eccentric songs. So Akademiks explained like Durk had sent him material, and like that just reminds me of like when Chinks Drugs at the time was sending me messages on my DM asking for my help as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like that shows me right there that those two, they will have a bond that goes on in the next 10 years throughout this music industry. 15 years. Durk isn't going to be one of the artists that has a short career, and neither is DJ Akademiks. You know what I mean? I think both of these guys are built to last in this industry. So I think we're going to be seeing them cross promoting for years to come. As Axe said here at the beginning of his career, when he started promoting the Chicago base, he had explained that, you know what I mean? He had actually explained like he started covering Chicago as like a secondary thing, and it became really big. Hold on one second. My man, Clarence Thomas, $20 super chat. He said C. He's giving Durk's album a C. You're giving the 7220 album a C, bro. Right now in the chat, it's 50% A, 10% B, 10% C, and 30% D. Everybody in here, I want you to all go vote. How do you rate Durk's new album, 7220? How do y'all rate the album, man? I'm wondering what y'all thought of the album grade-wise. Let me know if you haven't heard it. But major salute to Clarence Thomas. $20 super chat. Dude got me lit tonight. We got a dope stream. You know, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. He got evaluation in his raps now. What do you mean in regard to that, bro? Let me know what you mean in regard to that. So Axe said that he chatted for a bit with Durk, and Durk apparently was telling him, "Ack, I F with you for that." He'd be like, "Yo, you want to play 2K when my project drops?" Kind of like a listening party. I feel like I keep talking about this, and it makes y'all think I feel away. I F with Smirk, and that's understanding is the reason Durk knows, not because I'm posting Youngboy dissing him, that I don't F with him, and that's why y'all saying 6ix9ine, whatever he has with 6ix9ine, he has with 6ix9ine. And Youngboy, I try to stay out of that. So yeah, Akademiks is playing the right role when it comes to what he does in the industry. He doesn't want to dive too deep. And, you know, like he was saying, like if he played it a certain way, he would only post NBA Youngboy. If he played it a certain way, he would only post Durk, or he would only post 6ix9ine. But he doesn't do it like that. He doesn't do it like that. And the fact that he would do something about Youngboy and then go and even consider doing a live stream, you know, playing 2K with Lil Durk or whatever they end up doing, it just shows that. You know, it actually just shows that, you know. So Lil Durk's album. So Lil Durk's album projections, you guys. Okay, let's see. Where are the album sales? So the album projections for 7220 are actually, it's going to move between 120 and 130,000 units. You guys, he's going to move between 120 and 130,000 units. As I said, y'all, this is going to be Lil Durk's most successful album to date. This is actually going to be his most successful album to date, you guys. I'm really hype about the numbers that Durk is doing. I'm really hype about the numbers that Durk is doing. What does that say? Elevation. Yeah, it shows elevation. It shows elevation for Durk. Oh God, is this Shelton? You're talking about the '90s shit when you said PA all day. That's what you used to say back in the '90s. You were saying. Really hype about these sales projections for Lil Durk though. You know, really hype about these sales projections, man. And and I just can't wait to see what they are officially. You know, I think he could go as high as 140,000, you know, cuz these are just projections. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens though. You know what I mean? I did mean to look up the official sales for DaBaby. I did mean to look up the official sales for DaBaby and NBA Youngboy. So if anybody could get me those official sales right now, that would be dope. I would appreciate that. And PA got that from New York. Oh yeah, I know. I seen you guys going in on it all the live this whole time and shit. I was like, these guys are hilarious. But yeah, I had wrote down a bunch of Lil Durk lyrics, but I think we're just gonna move on to the Rallo update. Because Rallo posted an update in regard to his court case. So we got word that Rallo will be coming home. We got word that Rallo will be coming home. Rallo is set to be released in October of 2023, you guys. So Rallo has about, what would that be? We're in March. So March is 3, that's 7. Damn, it looks like Rallo has about 19 months left to serve, you guys. All good and hold on. Free that man. Exactly. Exactly. Free that man. And we're talking about Rallo. Shit. Free ARAB, free Dark Low while we're on the subject. Free all the men. But yeah, Rallo posted a statement because we all know Rallo was actually set to go on, to court. He was set to go to court on the 15th. We all had heard it. He posted it on his Instagram. So I was actually waiting to see what happened. Very hopeful that Rallo would actually walk out of the courtroom that day. So now, with the actual month and year released, and that actually being in the very seemingly immediate future, he's only got to go sit up for another year or so now. Now we can all start speculating about what will happen to Rallo. Will Rallo be riding out with QC? Like he said, he wanted to get picked up by QC with $250,000 put in his lap. I thought that was a little bit low, personally. You know what I mean? Thought that was a little bit low, but who knows? I mean, put $250,000 in a lap in my lap in the back of a Phantom, I'll probably say it's just enough. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to see what happens. I mean, when Bobby Shmurda got out of jail, look what was waiting for him. Look what was waiting for Bobby Shmurda. He had Quavo in a jet waiting for him, Rowdy Rebel, and just the time of his life waiting for him. So, what will be coming for Rallo, you guys? What will be coming for Rallo in this situation when he comes home? Now, Gucci Man had said about last year, Gucci Man had actually said he had a chain for Rallo. He said that he actually wanted to sign Rallo back to 1017. So maybe that will actually be an option. But we're going to get into this message that Rallo actually posted. Rallo said, I won't be home until October 2023, but I made sure I bought my mama a new house and bought my dudes some new apartments, building my artist a new studio, and I'm buying everybody around me new cars as soon as I land next year. They took from me. They took everything from me. Allah blessed me to buy it right back. I stood on mines and took my time like a man. I'm going to do this last year with a smile. Go watch Rallo chapter 30 out now. Fourth Quarter TV actually posted that message from Rallo. And, it's a very, very good message, man, to hear that Rallo, who's been sitting up since 2018, is actually going to be out of jail. He's actually going to be out of jail by next year, 2023, October, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Halloween Rallo. You know what I'm saying? The Fam Goon, the Halloween Fam Goon edition. Hold on. October is the 10th month, right? So boom, that'll be right in time for the 1017 release when Gucci Man loves to release albums. On 1017. That'll be perfect. I'm wondering if Rallo has actually signed a situation. I'm wondering if Rallo has actually signed a deal while sitting in jail, though. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I want to talk about. I'm wondering if he has actually signed a deal because he says he's in position to, buy new apartments, places for his people to live. He's able to buy a studio and set up a studio for his artists to work in. And he says when he gets home, he's going to make sure he buys everybody cars. So So Rallo obviously, still has money. Now, whether he signed a new situation, we'll have to wait and find out about that. I mean, he's got about 19 more months to sit up. He's got 19 more months to sit up, you guys. So we're gonna have to see what happens with Rallo. What are they gonna do in the time between he's locked up? I mean, you can go to Famerica News, you can cop new gear, new merch. You know what I'm saying? You can cop all merch from Rallo. You can go to his Instagram to check up on you know what I mean? You can go to his Instagram to actually, check up on, news from him. I don't know why they don't have a YouTube running where he gives weekly updates. That would have been the major thing to do. Like how Wheezy had the letters to Wheezy back in the day. Like, you really gotta use your time wisely. Gucci Mane was one of the artists that a lot of people said, "Holy shit, Gucci Mane was locked up." I didn't even realize that. Do you know Gucci Mane released 20 projects while he was locked up? Like, he released so many projects, he made you forget he was locked up. Looks like Lil Durk's album's got about an A. Looks like Lil Durk's album's got about an A. Oh, hold on one second. Let me get to this NBA Youngboy diss on the 7220 album. So Durk said on the track called Pissed Me Off, he said, "Boy, no cap. I got killers that I love and they don't rap. Boy, no cap. I got rappers that I love and they gon' splat. If I die, just don't lie, man. You guys better slide. If you can't get the main dude, then you better get his guys. I pop pills until I pass out. I'm about to crash out. Mention broing them on your live. Now we can't laugh now. Mention broing them on your live, and now we can't laugh now. And my favorite gun, the switch. You know that." Yeah, I should have wrote down these lyrics instead of copied and pasted them, man. Sometimes, but you guys got the gist of it. That line right there really hit me though when he said that about, if you can't get the main dude, then you better get his guys. I pop pills until I pass out. I'm about to crash out. Mention bro and them on your live, and now we cannot laugh now. And now we cannot laugh now. Now we can't laugh now. Durk is always dissing these guys about how they go on their lives, man. Yeah, some of this shit that they be saying on here is real critical, man. Oh, we got switches. Oh, we got bitches. You know that should be for the gram. I keep my distance. He said, bro and them from a different state act like they from the rack now. Huh. Durk had some dope lines on this album, though. I wrote down a lot of it, man. Like, Durk had some crazy bars on this shit. Like, he said, I went to court early. I went to court early off a Percocet. Had to open my eyes. I was just fucking on a lady guard. That's the only reason I'm tired. I lost a real savage to some bitch dudes. Only reason I cry. He mentions, you know what I mean? He mentions his people on this joint. You know what I mean? He even mentioned Pooh Shiesty. You know what I mean? He said, I brought Pooh Shiesty to my block. Gave him my Glock with an extension. Jesus. He said, I ain't gonna lie, my brother died and I was riding for myself. I'ma tell you, ask the truth, feel like I'm dying by myself. You ain't slide, you ain't ride, you be hiding by yourself. Man, I really know who did it. They be lying, who they killed. And oddly enough, Durk had a song called No Interviews on the album. You know, that's the one where he actually mentioned Pooh Shiesty. He had a song called No Interviews on there. But, you know, like we were all saying, you know, and like Akademiks even said, he promised Gillie the Kid that interview. You know what I mean? He actually promised Gillie the Kid that interview. So that's why he did it. And yeah, Durk's lyrics are amazing. That's why I said it's like they just come right off your tongue. You know what I mean? What was this one right here? Like he said in one of the songs, I done started from the bottom, now I'm rich. Taking these drugs for my problems, now I'm sick. Feel like I go through the karma shit I did. I remember riding Hondas, I'm the shit. I remember riding Hondas, I'm the shit. And I watch out for my dogs because my conscience sick. Lost my cousin, that's not okay. Lost my brother, that's not okay. I miss my dogs, that's not okay. Durk shit hits, man. Durk shit hits, y'all. You know what I mean? He's one of the most, you know what I mean? He's one of the most intriguing artists in the game when it comes to writing these raps, man. I be from Fall River, West Palm from my guys. Is that a rap? I be Fall River and West Palm and with my guys. I moved Dolo state to state. Fall River to West Palm with my guys. Are you guys writing a rap or something in there? Nah, Gillie used to say it. Haram the Don was popping, bro. Yeah, nah, his new album is fire, man. If you guys haven't voted in the chat, vote right now, man. Vote right now because I want to know, what do y'all think? Lil Durk's album. Do you guys rate it an A, a B, or C, or D? Give it your official grade. Yeah, man. Sometimes you just need to be able to, you know how some freestyles are, man, that you give them like an object. I do it with my I just be doing it with the comments in my lives. I be writing raps. I'm like, I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna bring it on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring it on Funk Flex and be like, I'm from West Palm and Fall River. I'm a Don. I'm, I'm a Don, big sipper. I got the Dom back there if you guys didn't know. I'm a big Dom sipper, man. Decent. Exactly. Decent. You should have been in here earlier when I was rapping about you should have been in here earlier when I was rapping about the Bel Air Rose, trying to get a deal with Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Where are we at with this? So Rallo has a date, you guys. It looks like Rallo's coming home October. It looks like Rallo's coming home in October of 2023. He's not coming home this year, you guys. If he was, that would be crazy. If they gave him a date to come home in like 5 or 6 months, that would be totally nuts. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, you know, the man got hit, on a plane with some crazy ass shit. You know what I mean? He got hit on a plane with some crazy ass shit, and we're pretty much lucky that he gets to come home in this amount of time. Other people have been set up for that type of shit and had to do 12, 13 years in jail. Now, I appreciate you tuning in, bro. I appreciate you tuning in. Definitely do. Young Different. Appreciate you for tapping in. But I'm going to open it up now. I'm going to open it up now if anybody wants to ask some questions, if it's in regard to any of the topics. Durk said, I got real money. I'm going to need the bank staff to come and count this cash. One reason I don't be taking no interviews because they be bringing up rats. I love the trenches. The shit is eternal. Oh my God, what happened to Virgil? Yeah. Yeah, man. He's got some real shit. Yeah. He's got some real shit on the 7220 album. If you guys haven't heard the album, I highly recommend. If you guys haven't heard this album, I highly recommend you check it out. Well, I mean, Young Different, they already have everybody in custody in Young Dolph's case. The only thing about that is those cases really take a long time to play out. You know what I mean? Continuances, those be getting pushed back like 3 months at a time and shit. It's not like how we first saw with those guys going back and forth to court every week. Usually the continuances are a little bit deeper than that. Everybody send in your questions right now. If anybody has any open questions, we're taking some questions right now, whatever type of things that you want to ask. Amadou, has anybody ever who has come out and performed in Mali that you've seen? I'm very interested to hear it. Ooh, Duke Jr. 08 says YB versus Kodak Black in a versus. YB versus Kodak Black in a versus. I think we need to bring that one to the chat. You guys. I think we need to bring that one to a official poll. I want to know who's everybody feeling in here a little bit more. Is it Kodak Black? Is it NBA Youngboy? Who are you guys feeling more as an artist? I'm putting it in a poll, you guys. All right, I need everybody to vote in this poll, you guys. Show some love to the poll, you guys. Also, send in your open questions. 717 PA all day. Salute. Appreciate you for tapping in. I put it in the comments, you guys, or in the poll, actually. I want to know, who do y'all think would win in the verses? Would it be Kodak Black or would it be Youngboy? I want to know what everybody thinks. But also, this is your last chance for some open questions. iVision says 7220 is fire. Yeah, man, I would grade that album a B plus for sure. After listening to it, I would give that album a B plus for sure. Maybe even an A minus, to be honest with you. Is a really good album. Honestly, the only tracks that I really wasn't feeling too much was the only tracks I really wasn't feeling too much, and it actually changed, was because he had this one track called "Turn the Speakers Up." Is that what it's called? Let me pull it up real quick, because there was honestly a reasoning for this track, and I really respect Durk's reasoning for this. He had a record called it was two song titles. It was "Grow Up" / "Keep the Speakers On," right? And we all know that Durk actually did a kind of a crazy record called Broadway Girls, which was kind of like a country type of record. Now, the song called Grow Up / Keep It On Speaker, the Grow Up portion was a little bit of a different track, but when he did Keep It On Speaker, I would have to say that was more of a country vibe for Lil Durk. Since I'm speaking on the album a little bit right here. And that's where he redeemed himself, because I saw it once the end of the album came up. I was like, oh shit, Little Durk. I'm like, Little Durk actually is doing a country song on his own with this Keep It On speaker. He's doing something kind of like without his own country singer, a different country singer involved. He's showing us what it would sound like without a country singer. At least that's what I took from it. But in all honesty, that's something we didn't get from Nelly, right? We didn't get that from Nelly after his big record with Tim McGraw. We didn't really get a follow up to him capitalizing on the amount of records that country can sell. You know, we saw how big of an audience country. We know how big of an audience country music has. That's why so many hip hop artists have actually, decided to participate in it. And so that's one criticism I had, that keep it on speaker. But then once I heard the end of the album with that Broadway Girls, I quickly changed my opinion on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the album an A minus. But since we don't really do that, and since we only have an A, B, C, or D, I guess we got to go with an A, because it's definitely not a B. Duke. Salute for that comment, bro. Oh, Nelly actually tried it again? George, you're saying Nelly tried to get back onto that country shit? Like he tried to actually follow up the over and over? Over and... So Nelly, you're telling me Nelly jumped back into country again? That's what you're telling me, George. And he made some sales off of it. You're gonna have to DM that to me, man. Why didn't they do an album if that's the case? iVision says, great body of work. 7220 is a great body of work. That is 100% accurate. That is 100% accurate. 7220 is probably, well, I mean, shit. So far, it's my favorite album of the year. You know what I'm saying? So far, it's my favorite album of the year. He really came heavy on this album. Not too many features either. He had a few features on there, but not too many where it was overwhelming. You know what I mean? Not too many where it was kind of annoying. Lil Durk knew how to mix it up a little bit. He knew how to mix everything in. I'm gonna look that shit up, George, but that's why I appreciate you being in the building, letting us know shit. Because that was one of the notes I actually had, when I was doing my little review of Durk's album. I was like, yo, in all honesty, I was like, I think it's a good creative record that Durk did, because he followed up his country record and letting us know what a solo country record with him would sound like, because you can't always just go out there and get the major feature. Like, that's not what it always can be about. You got to be able to sustain on your own. And that's kind of what I think Lil Durk was doing with that Keep It On speaker record. And I was really impressed with that. You know what I mean? I was like really impressed with that, the way that he did that. So that's what actually made me say redemption. That's redemption on Keep It On speaker from what he had with that Broadway Girls. Another record I actually liked was Federal Nightmares. Really good concept record right there from Durk. Yeah, Peasy. Yeah, Peasy. But I don't really want to get into that. It's just crazy how a man can't answer simple questions, right? And but honestly, like, I just thought that's what Clubhouse was about. You know what I mean? I honestly thought that's what Clubhouse was about. You're supposed to go and have conversations, right? But oh damn. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight, Louis Peasy. I'm taking some open questions right now. If anybody has any questions, Anybody want to ask anything? I'm just about to smoke up until I go to sleep after this video. You know what I'm saying? I mean, been a successful day, been a great day today. I really appreciate everybody checking out the joints. Y'all need to go check out my exclusive interview with Easy the Block Captain. I actually released a piece where he was speaking on Lloyd Banks. I don't know if y'all missed that shit, but I put that out today. Let me know, bro. Let me know what the bar is, and I'll tell you. Let me know who the bar is from, and I'll let you know if I can think of a hotter bar that they have. Duke Jr. says, "What are you smoking on?" I am smoking on some E85 gas, man. E85 gas, 22%. Well, 22.6%, however you want to slice it, man. Pretty much smoke chain blunt, chain joints, one after the next. Who's that a bar from? Nickels or dimes, raw hustle professional, especially if a brick can flip legit decimals. So he says, nickels or dimes, raw hustle professional, especially if a brick can flip legit decimals. When I'm cooking up my crack, the work it's symmetrical. Put it on the block. You already said professional, right? You put it on the block. Serve it. Me, bro. Let's go. Oh, you want to bet? Oh, I thought you were trying to tell me. I knew what you was going for right there because I was like, he ain't set a bar from anybody that I know that rapped. So my dude is trying to battle me right here. Sounds like Jadakiss. Nah, I think he was just, is that a bar that he made up? Because that's what I was thinking at first. Because I was like, all right, so I thought he was trying to play like a game at first of like, Mikey, Nate, come up with a bar from this artist that's hotter. So and then what that shit? What's that shit that I said? I came up with some really hot shit at first, but then I was gonna about to say professional. Put it on the block. It's like, Mikey, you got a hotter bar for me? Maybe I got a hotter delivery for you. You know what I mean? It's all in delivery, bro. It's all in delivery. You can say what you say. Say what you say when you say it, but don't forget it, how you was saying it. You know, because it's if you got the delivery, you can make it sound right. Professional, hood medical. No, I said symmetrical because I was like, when I cook up the work, it's symmetrical because you want your work, you know what I mean, to actually be like, you know, you want your shit to be as good as the other shit. You're like, oh man, I just cooked up that dope batch, man. I got that batch. And then you always kind of want your shit to be like that. So that's why I use the word symmetrical. You know what I'm saying? Mikey, you watched that Danny Myers versus Little Slap yet? Nah, yellow fella, I haven't, man. What is that? Something, yeah, good medical. I could have said, what did I make it symmetrical? Put it on the block. This work is like some medical. Block got the work like it's medical. Got the work like it's medical. Put it on the block. I got the work like it's medical. Accumulation. Young different. What up, man? What is that a sign of? Right? Oh, that's the medical shit. Yeah, you know you're dealing with some good shit when you got that medical. That's what everybody on the block wants. They're like, yo, you got that medical shit though? You got that medical shit? I was watching Steve Will Do It, and there's one guy who's like, oh, that's that Michael Jackson. When they were getting this dude some new teeth, and then they brought in the Michael Jackson drip. Yo, Truth is my energy, number 81. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. 22%. This shit ain't medical. that your shit's 22%, man. That shit ain't medical. Grow up that weed like I'm a professional. When my work graduated, I moved over the decimal. When my work graduated, I moved over the decimal. Making all this money got Mikey T feeling so special. Yeah. Walking into the Louis store got me feeling special. Yeah, some shit like that. That's how you know this weed. Yeah, this weed is some good shit. Yeah, I wanted to say that, that line about feeling special, you know what I mean? You couldn't land on it too quickly, you know what I'm saying? Unethical. Smoking up this weed, the shit is unethical. Spending all my money on this weed, it's unethical. Oh my God, George is going at me right here. George is going at me right here. He said, if I catch you in your Lexus, G's, that's chromed up. Hope you wear a vest or your chest gets turned up, toned up. 9 from 6 get sick, that get stitched and sewn up. Talk a lot of shit in your crib. Oh my God. He went in on me right there. I ain't gonna lie, man. You're lucky I didn't come back on you on that shit, man. You're lucky I didn't come back on you on that shit. But I had to censor it, man. You're lucky this shit ain't death row in the 90s, man. You're lucky. This is more like the row. This shit's more like the row in 2002. You know, we got to say shit. Sometimes you can't even say the shit that you want to say, man, because this shit's like the row in 2002. That's why they got to censor us. Some shit like that. I don't know, bro. I think I got you, to be honest, man. I think I got you, to be honest with you, man. Tomorrow, this is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be like Mikey T battles himself. Cassidy's going to be like, I want the winner of that shit. Cassidy's going to be like, screw that. I want the winner. It was just me in the battle, Cass. You're lucky I didn't come back on you, George. Sometimes we gotta blur the curses out. I was just kidding though, man. Man, that was fun though. I won't lie. That was fun. That was fun right there. That was fun. I'm gonna say, y'all, last questions. If anybody has any last questions for me tonight, shoot them my way. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a dope blog. I'm glad Rallo has gotten his release. You know what I mean? Rallo has finally gotten his release date, y'all. October of next year. You know, we've all been patiently waiting. We've all been watching. You know, we all watched his career play out for like, the last, since like 2000. He really started getting it going a few years before he got locked up. And then it was all snatched right from him. You know what I mean? Clouds Clutch Corner says, do a live stream where you just cipher the entire time, bro. Who knows, man? Maybe if somebody hits me up and they're like, yo, Mikey T, we really like the way you were ciphering on that shit the other night. We want to give you an opportunity just to like literally cipher with people like da 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 da. Who knows, man? That's why you got to try different things like that, man, to show people what you can do. You know what I mean? Maybe some other people never even, I mean, I write all day, literally, when I'm putting together these videos, when I'm putting together my blogs and shit like that. So it's not really that hard to be seeing how words line up and shit like that. But it's all about, like I said, it's all about actually having a voice. A lot of people don't like their voices and shit like that. A lot of people are so concerned about the way that they look. And that's something that I had to grow over myself as well, man. But let me see. What's the next verses that you want to see? Well, if NBA Youngboy can knock this case out, I want to see NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk do a verses for sure. If they can knock that case out, if NBA Youngboy knocks this case out, I want to see him do a versus with Lil Durk. That's for sure. Are they going to be able to do that? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. So maybe we got to do. And it seems like they more so do the legends, anyways. Like, you know what I mean, with the last joint. But I want to see what one realistically that can happen. I want to see Yo Gotti versus Rick Ross. Yo Gotti and Rick Ross would be a movie. Yeah. Yo Gotti and Rick Ross would be a movie because Lil Durk and NBA Youngboy, it's just like these dudes almost literally just like they don't want to do music. You know what I mean? These guys literally just want to diss each other. So Cloud says, well, Gucci Man already did one, bro. So that's why I'm saying Ross. Plus, Ross has quite the catalog. Yo Gotti has built the catalog. You know what I mean? Free Rondo. That's right. Free Rondo number 9. Lil Wayne versus Drake. That's a cool one right there. Eyes Vision. You know what I'm saying? Because they're actually friends. So that would actually kind of be fun. You know what I mean? That would actually kind of be fun. Will it happen? I don't know if verses really like I don't know if they really are going to be shelling out the money for that. I don't know if that's how it works. You know what I mean? If it's just a matter of money, I'm sure that they could come up with the arrangement of those two guys to actually do something. Who were they just talking about? The Game and Eminem. Some people were talking about. That might be interesting, but I'm gonna stick with my Yo Gotti and Rick Ross. Oh, yeah, you're right, Jay Easy. Appreciate you for tapping in, Jay Easy. He said Ross already did a versus battle with two chains as well. Well, Gucci Man and was Rick Ross and 2 Chains in the same way as Gucci Man and Young Jeezy was? Yeah, Nick. G Easy actually just said that. Jay-Z versus Kanye. Maybe you do a little tag team. Can we get a tag team versus? Can you do a tag team versus, you guys? Can we get Jay-Z and Kanye West versus Drake and Lil Wayne? Or am I asking for too much? Dublin, Ireland is in the house tonight, you guys. That's lit. That's lit when you got Dublin tapping in. I'm about to go to Dublin. Bro, what's the best time to visit Dublin? When is it the most warm in Dublin in England? Because I'm planning on going to Dublin, England, Amsterdam, and the Eiffel Tower. If they will let me. But Dublin, but Ireland, England, and Amsterdam for sure. Yeah, man. Great live tonight. Great live tonight, you guys. Taking some last questions if anybody wants to get any last questions in, man. You know what I'm saying? We touched on the topics. Rallo's coming home in October of 2023. So maybe he even get a little bit more time shaved off. You know what I'm saying? So that would be great. Also, Lil Durk's album 7220, great album. He represented. He took his freaking legacy to a new level. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't help himself, but he was pissed off, so he went out a few different people. You know what I mean? What's going to happen next? I hear there's another diss song cooking for NBA Youngboy right now. Stoned at the Manor. Nice, man. Nice. Cloud says Loxer's Dips was my all-time favorite, tied with Jeezy and Gucci. I actually I think my favorite was the I think my favorite was actually the the battle with Ja Rule and Fat Joe, to be honest with you, man. Jim Jones says, when is Rallo coming home? October of 2023. So Rallo's going to have to sit up for another 19 months before he comes home. NBA says George says NBA can't come back at Gucci for sure. What, sort of like how I can't come back at you, George, after that lyrical thrashing that you gave me? Oh, yo, you don't want me to be the Mikey T. You don't want me to be the Mikey T from 2009. You don't want me to be the Mikey T from 2009. Nori versus Gillie. Yeah, man, I said it. They need to do a podcast versus. Nobody listens to me, though. They don't want to hear me out, though. I'm trying to tell them, do a podcast versus. Gillie versus Nori. It's money. Do it. They don't hear me, though. They don't hear me, though. It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm sure in due time they will do it. But like all these guys, like there's so many different things that you could do for verses. You know what I mean? They need to explore, like they're doing the groups, they're doing the solos, do the podcasts, man. Bring out a big screen. You got the host from the show. They can have a few different ones on the big screen, and then they can have a few live guests. It's pretty simple. It's actually pretty simple. Now my Instagram is Mikey T _ the movie star. If you want me to hit me up to be a coordinator for this. I will be accepting job applications. Yes. Appreciate you. Salute. Yeah, that's the news. Rallo put up a statement today, Jones. That's the news. That's Rallo put up the statement today. Kind of crazy. Did you ever get to work with I wonder if Jim Jones ever got to work with Rallo. Interesting. Appreciate you for tapping in, Colossal the Don. My guys in the building tonight. It's time for me to roll up something. Actually, I'm not rolling up the E85. I want to roll up the velvet cake, baby. I better say velvet. Oh, it's red velvet. My bad. Why do I keep calling it velvet cake? Burners like Mike, you keep on getting the name of my strand wrong. Like, how does that even make sense? Woo! Velvet cake, baby. My bad. I just messed it up again. Red velvet, baby. It gets me so high. It gets me so high. They're like, yo, Mikey T, no, Mikey T. When you was creating those dope ass raps, you was on the E85 gas. What up? But yeah, man, I really appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. This is your chance, though. If anybody has any last questions that y'all want to send in, man, dope ass little podcast that we did tonight, man. I gave a little mini review of Durk's album. I might do one in full. I don't know. Y'all will have to let me know in the comments. If I get like 50 comments that says Mikey T review 7220, I might do it. Like if I see this on the watch back and we get like 50 comments where people are like, yo, Mikey T, do that shit, I'll probably do it, man. But in all honesty, I feel like I talked a little bit about some of the records, some of the lines that were, aggressive in nature, and some of the lines that were just, Lil Durk. I didn't go over everything. Sometimes you got to save it in case we do a video, maybe for the Patreon or something like that. You know what I mean? If I do a video for the Patreon that only the Patreon subscribers will be able to get. I think it's only like $3 to subscribe on Patreon for me right now, though. So you get every single video that I ever do. Then you become an official movie star and shit like that. Who's Mike? Who? Sorry, man. That's probably a little bit too popular to be singing on YouTube. Mike Powers versus Mikey T. Who's Mike Powers? Never heard of Mike Powers. Sorry. You're going to have to put me on game. Put me on game. If you want to see the Mikey T versus Bond smoke off, you're going to have to definitely donate for that, George. You're definitely going to have to donate the spot. You're going to have to donate the chronic, and we'll film the whole thing and put it on YouTube for sure. So if you want to do something like that, now we're in business. I'd say you're probably going to need about four zips. Get a location. I'll bring the camera, or we'll bring the computer and we'll do it a live stream. You know what I mean? We'll bring a bunch of different computers and we'll do it on live stream. But yeah, man. I'm going to tell everybody on here. Listen, if y'all ain't following me on Instagram, I need you to go over to the gram and follow me right now. So whoever follows me back based on this video, I'm going to follow y'all. You heard? Glock. What's poppin', Glock? He says, YB got more hit songs than Kodak. YB is actually down right now in the poll, 36% to 64%. But yo, anybody that follows me right now on my Instagram, I will follow you guys back immediately. You heard? Everybody that follows me right now, my Instagram is pinned. I will follow you guys back immediately. I definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, man. Want y'all to have a good night. I will see you on the next episode. Salute.